Meeting to order. The purpose of today's meeting was to review two positions requests from the Department of Social Services, at which time I can turn it over to Bob Gibson.
Thank you, Chairman, and happy holidays, everyone. Appreciate you taking the time today. Yeah, I'll start with the caseworker position first.
Yep.
The caseworker position is obviously an important one, and we at the department completely agree with the way, the COVID response has been handled and the freezing of positions. This position actually became available after the freezing of the positions due to a retirement that occurred last month. And it sort of dropped us below the staffing levels even anticipated with the freeze. So we were hoping that we could staff up at least to those levels. And with that, I put forward the request to backfill that one caseworker position and any position in the agency that might become vacant as a result of filling that caseworker position.
Okay, and that money is in the budget. So we have a motion by Rick Scalera.
Sterling.
Second, Sarah Sterling. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, Bob, next.
Thank you. Thank you. The next one is a social welfare examiner. And that's a particular position that examines the eligibility of our residents for different federal and state programs. And again, a position is opening up now with a retirement effective the end of this month that was not anticipated at the time of the freeze. This drops us below even the anticipated levels we all thought we would be at with the freeze. So I'm asking for one social welfare examiner and have any backfill that might be by that hire.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Jim Guzzi, second. Rick Scalera. Discussion?
Hey, Bob, I just wanted to ask you about that position. Is the employee going to be coming back part-time?
So she has agreed to come back under a contractual basis,
Gotcha.
which is very timely because the employee that I did have contracted on a part-time basis to help out down there cannot come back until COVID is lifted.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. We had a request to fill a sheriff's deputy position, but that has since been pulled because the deputy that was leaving for other employment decided to stay. So it's unnecessary. And actually, that deputy never broke service, so it was an easy fix.
Good. Good.
So that's all we have today. Unless anybody else has anything.
See that? You didn't have to take the grease off your hands, Jim.
Yeah, I know.
We'll probably, the day of the year-end meeting, probably have to call a quick.
Sorry about that.
Have to call a quick finance
Thank
meeting
you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
to review these. So.
Right.
So
Hey,
now,
can I bother you guys with a quick question?
yep.
I sat in on a webinar from the Office of the State Controller last week, and they were talking about sales tax withholding. And they had mentioned the new distress provider assistance, which I think the upstate counties would have to share like $50 million worth of. I was just wondering if you guys were aware of that. Are we going to have to deal with that and how it affects our budget?
I can answer that. In February, they're going to see $6,000 out of our sales tax as Columbia County's portion towards that $50 million hit for the hospital. And then after that, they're going to be taking it out quarterly. It would be the same amount, 266,000 divided by 4. They'll be taking it out quarterly for their payment next February as well to the hospitals. One big dip, my grandfather used to say, on a farm. All the family would come and, grab their milk and whatever and take it home. He used to say, one big dip.
Matt, I had something I wanted to just quickly bring up quick.
Yep.
I noticed that, like in our town, and I'm sure everybody else's, we have a lot of people moving up, and we got homes that are assessed for, say, $300,000, and they're paying $800,000, $900,000, in some cases even more. But because of the grandfather clause, that shadow clause, really, until the town does a reevaluation, you can't raise their taxes. So I was just wondering if there's a way that maybe that could be changed just for a tweak, just for discussion or something to think about. And let's say you put 20%, 25%. So if you had a situation where, let's say you had a piece of property that was $100,000, and they sold it for 200, then it was 25%, that cap. If you could go 25% over what it was assessed at, and after that you had to pay for it. You know what I mean? You were assessed for it. That would help definitely bring more assessed value in, and it would, the town through would do evaluation, reval, costs us money, and it also, we don't do it right away. So I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but I would say if it's at 500,000, property sells for 800, 25% over 500,000. Anything over above that, you can charge. Just put a tweak to that clause, so it doesn't have to be just big number stuff. It could even be little number stuff. Kind of makes sense. Does that anybody here? Or?
No, I get what you're saying. I think we'd have to ask our real property tax
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there.
what we can and can't do. I mean, we get our taxes grieved or assessments grieved on a regular basis. So it'd be interesting to see if that's something that might be grievable.
The reason why I say that's if somebody purchases a piece of property.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they wouldn't fall underneath that. They would still get the grandfathering to a degree, that shadowing clause, but they would be also susceptible to another price on top of that, paying to bring you up to what they paid for. Just because they wanted to pay $1 million for a piece of property that felt it was worth 400, we could take it.
I thought that some of the assessors do put those properties up. It's called Welcome Stranger.
Well,
It's up to the assessor that they can raise them at any time. But
I thought that was a law that they couldn't until they did a reevaluation.
I don't know.
No,
I'd ask. Yeah.
I'm almost positive it's not a law. The assessor has the ability to increase it, but when you talk about welcome stranger, you can't base it on a sale price only. Obviously, there has to be comparables around that would make it,
Right.
an assessment that's worthy of what they're going to increase it based on comparables, not necessarily because that person has a lot of money and wanted to pay an absorbent amount of money for that property. But they should be keeping up with it. Town assessors should be keeping up, as well as the city. You can't wait 5, 10, 15 years for a reval and then hit the people all at once. You have to incrementally bring them up to what they are.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm going to look into it a little bit more anyway. But
Yeah, we can talk to Suzette about it.
yeah, no problem. I just want to throw it out there. I'm done.
Anything else from the committee? Okay. Thank you all. Have a happy holiday.
Motion to adjourn.
You too, Chairman.
Thank you.
Need a
Second.
second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Take care, everyone.
Take care.